tonight before this fight, what do you have to say to them?
Fuck.
What did you tonight before this fight, what do you have to say to them?
Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. That's all I'm gonna say to y'all.
Yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to the Tuesday Tussle for this Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. We're calling this episode Living Up to the Status Quo. That little soundbite you heard me play there was Shakur Stevenson responding to an interviewer asking for his response to some things that had been said publicly in the press about him. And he responded quite angrily. And it was the type of response that you'd expect from someone who doesn't have a grip on their discipline. I played that for a reason. I was trying to cue it up, but I had a little bit of difficulty with the fact that these folks are still messing with my streams. And though you don't see me on the screen yet, you will see me. I just haven't put my image up there yet. But dealing with everything, dealing with everything that has come through the pipeline regarding Shakur Stevenson and other fighters in boxing and how they're moving, how they're dealing with pressure, challenge. Tonight's show and the title goes kind of hand in hand with that, because it seems to be the status quo now that these young men, lacking discipline, lacking lesson being learned, mentorship, and we're seeing these guys really unravel. The closer that they get to being challenged to show who they are as fighters in the ring. See, social media, as the general has said, has really ruined a lot of people. There are positives to use social media for, but there's a great deal of negativity out there as well. And as we deal with these issues head on, there are some people who don't recognize that maybe I need to take a step back. Maybe I need to kind of regalvanize myself, replenish, build myself up in a better manner. See, that's important to be able to do that. The status quo is typically the rule of thumb of how and where the direction in society that things generally fall under and operate under. Sometimes that status quo can be shaky. Sometimes it could be a barometer of which to compare yourself from low standard to above lowly standards. And as a nation here in the U.S., we are failing miserably at holding the line, so to speak. It's something to take consideration of. That's why this show exists, the Tuesday Tussle, because I try to bring you in to the process of how fighters are supposed to be mentored, taught, cultivated, developed. But it's also the same in life. We need the same type of building. Yeah, they're messing with my audio again this evening, so just bear with me, family. It should clear up. And I'll take my time. Salute to the family that's over there on Rumble. We got Jamal Davis over there. Columbia's over there. CT 512 is over there. It says, salute, just joined this Rumble. Thank you for joining, giving Stormy B Man a follow. That's deeply appreciated. Just bear with, that audio should clear up in a moment. So I'll take my time. I'll take my time. In the meantime, we'll do a quick roll call. Del Real in the building. What's happening? The brother Drew Titan. Universal Truth. Mr. Shelton. Showtime. Yes, indeed, boxing. Jamal Davis over here doing double duty. Stephen L. Mack. Columbia helping out with those links. Thank you. To the brother Drew Titan, quick message. How in the world can it say my stream health is excellent, but that audio be choppy like that at the same time? This is how you know it's an external thing. It has nothing to do with me. See how it just cleared up now? You hear that? See? I've done nothing. I haven't changed anything, adjusted anything. They tried to lock me out of my own account, believe it or not, before I did the live. I had to punch in the key password saying to identify that it's truly me. I mean, what's that all about? Someone on the other side just making it difficult for me? Or is someone really trying to assume Stormy B-Man's identity? Now you know that I can't be replaced like that. If you watch my content on the regular, you will know anything else pales by comparison. It's an imitation, but not a duplication. Yeah. Back to the subject at hand. I was dealing with something that I had prepared for you. I was going to talk about Oshaki Foster, but what I'll do is I won't play the audio because they're messing with my audio. But I'll just go ahead and give my thoughts, because he did an interview with Fight Hype earlier today. And what I realized is he offered up some interesting information that, if you look at it, is reminiscent of what Devin Haney is currently doing with his career, offering up the opportunity to face any of the major challenges in and around his weight class. You know, Oshaki, after defeating Stephen Fulton weeks ago, he had the opportunity to remain at 135. But he decided to drop back down to 130. But he's willing to face Shakur Stevenson at 135 if he wants to come back down, because he basically has that interim title. And he has stated that he would pay the sanctioning fees and everything just for that opportunity to face Shakur. Think about that for a moment. See, when it goes to that extent that a fighter is looking to make the fight, when all else is denied, you can't look at it any other way than the person who doesn't want to agree to terms is ducking. So living up to the status quo when it applies to a fighter like O'Shaquie Foster, he's actually above the Mason-Dixon line of the status quo because he is seeking out the best opportunities to elevate his position, his status, and legacy in the sport. The victory over Stephen Fulton was just a nail beginning to seal the coffin shut. There's another fighter out there, Lamont Roach. He too, after the challenge of Tank Davis and being robbed of an opportunity to have consideration for a decision victory, he was only meted out a draw, followed up with a draw against Pitbull. Being on the wrong side of decisions like that has nothing to do with the fighter being inadequate or insufficient. The status quo is currently showing us that they need a certain amount of demographic inclusion, and the checks and balances of how that either expands or shrinks is based on those decisions that come down the pipeline. You see, a black fighter shouldn't have to knock someone out to get a proper decision. You see, in the real world, the melanated person has to prove their wares by being double, if not triple times better than average. And average isn't even average because today there's not a lot of common application. There's not a lot of people doing their best. You have a society wrought with people who just think that they should be included, given par gras, and also shouldn't have to roll their sleeves up to work for anything. That's the status quo. How did we get here? We've arrived here because there are people who have become more and more accepting, where the evaluations aren't what they should be. When you talk about giving someone a once over to really take into note of their achievements as well as the merits of their effort, what they put in. We've had a couple more people come into the building. Troll Slayer, Yes, indeed, boxing. I think I called you out earlier. Shamara, Shalom, what's going on? You see, achievement and acknowledgement of your effort is very important. It does a great deal for esteem. It does a great deal for confidence. And it does a great deal for motivation. Since the participation trophy generation came into prominence, where everybody gets equal billing, people stop working hard. You see, if you could just go to the mailbox a couple of times a month and pull out a wage, but you haven't gone anywhere else in that month's time, it's hard to be motivated. But the moment that you see someone else's labors and efforts, you get jealous and you decide, oh, they think they're better than me. How good do you think you are? Or how well do you think of yourself if you're not motivated to get up and go? And get up and go get it. Damn the mailbox. We have a full society of those. And the people who have been receiving the benefit are in the greater numbers than the melanated folks of society. They have you think otherwise. But you look around and you see all of these overweight, out of shape Americans. All the processed foods and the fake steaks and chickens and all of that stuff. Their freezers are stacked surplus many times over than mine. And I go to work for mine. But it's like, when there's no desire to do better, what happens when that cord and that plug is pulled? Are they supposed to come and try to take from me now? And I've been working the whole time? Status quo. You see how I tied that in? Status quo. Devin Haney came up with a hit list. We talked about this on a different show, where he just spoke of his contemporaries. And basically, contemporary means those of his current era. Peers. Out of a top 10 list of pick'ems. Only one stepped forward, and that was Brian Norman Jr. But the list is full of people who have a greater deal of popularity, fighters that are listed as above the present placement of Norman Jr. But no one stepped forward but Norman Jr. Why is that? Why do you think that is? That's something terribly uninspiring. Some of these men have been noted for holding titles. Lopez, Stevenson, Hank Davis, Boots Ennis, Barrios, Romero. All of those men have held titles, if not even are currently title holders. None of them want to test the wares, to test the waters, to test their abilities, to test the pulse, to test the economic market and value. You can't win if you don't participate. You can't. You're not a winner if you haven't applied to participate. And you don't deserve consideration. But keep holding that status quo, and everything will become clearer to you as people move away from you, as they regard you as unworthy of consideration. This is not about sanctioning bodies and titles. This is about who you are. When I go to my grind every day, there's a certain amount of respect that I'm met with, and that's because of who I am, how I represent. If I came in there with substandard and sub-quality, that respect wouldn't be there. To have dignity and the dignification of being capable, it's supposed to mean something to you. Have a sense of pride when it comes to that. Not pride as in being lofty in thought of oneself, but have confidence in that your capability in whatever it is you do and apply yourself to. This list of people, as I said, some of them have popularity. And popularity is hard to come by. Believe me, I know. I look at my little meager numbers on my channel here. I have the same consistent supporters, which I really appreciate, and I love each and every one. But there are some that just don't want to get caught dead supporting the likes of Stormy B, man. How dare you? It's a bad look. It's like the guy who creeps out at night and he's going to see that lady that might be plus size that people make fun of on the daytime side of things, but he's sneaking in the back door giving her thrills, huh? And she's giving him thrills. But he don't want to be seen in broad daylight with her, though. That type of disrespect. It's enough to make you look like this. Shout out to the brother Drew Titan. Man. So Oshaki is living through that same mindset that Devin is having. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's highly respectable. And though he has called out the likes of Stevenson, there are others at 135 he would just as eagerly be awaiting. But since Shakur has stressed that he feels that he is the best fighter in the world, Champ's like, hey, let's get it on. I'll even make it easier on you. I'll pay for the fees and everything. Let's just sign on the dotted line and let's get this done. I don't see anything wrong with that. How much more does a person have to get called out and don't answer the call and people be forgiving of it when it comes to this sport? Some of your favorites have participated in this foolishness. Ennis, Davis, Stevenson. Lopez was a serious part of that group, but he finally took a risk, and you saw what happened to him. Can anyone in the chat share a sentiment of what's common in Oshaki and Devin? Can anyone put that together for me in a thought? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. What's common about those two fighters? Let me know. That's the question I'm posing to the chat. Everybody is out there live right now, presently. For that matter, you can actually throw Lamont Roach in there. You can throw Jai Opataya in there. They're experiencing some of the same things. They're real saying what's common about both fighters is that they're chasing greatness and willing to take sacrifices to make a fight. How about what's common is their immediate contemporaries are avoiding them. And in the meantime, public sentiment is putting down those that are being avoided instead of critiquing and criticizing those who are doing the avoiding. Now understand what I said about the title of tonight's show, the status quo. You see how things have flipped on its end? There was a time that would be utterly foolish. It's still foolish, but it's like there was a time that the concept of thinking in that manner would be foolish, and it wasn't a thing that was seen on a regular basis. It's unfortunate that fighters they're losing. They're losing their respect, consideration, status, pride, esteem. And this is on a continuous basis. Look at how few times a year that fighters fight. Now, we're not even talking about PBC fighters because we know that came crashing, right? But look at how few times guys fight now. I now realize that they fight so few because they're typically being asked to put themselves in more threatening situations, threatening to their records and their reputations. So it's almost like if I fight far less, then you kind of forget about that. The next time I step out in an 80-20 match, 80 in my favor. Oh, you ain't fought in 8 months, man. Oh, you got a fight coming up in 2 months? Okay. So that's the 10th month of the year. And it's your first fight of the year. Wow, the calendar year is almost over with. Then next spring you threaten to do something again, but you get a hand injury, right? A so-called hand injury. One of the most difficult injuries to prove. Here we are. The status quo. So fighters like Opataya, Haney, Foster, they have reputations that precede them. Typically, that reputation amongst their contempts are like, this guy is actually really good, and I'm not sure I want to get in there with him unless the purse is at an exorbitant amount, and something that I could ransom my record against and still feel good about myself in the morning. What? Out of 15 people, only one person responded with my question. That being Del Riv. What the hell are the rest of you doing? What are you doing? I don't understand. Non-participation. You may as well not be here. I can get the same results. You see? I let a whole minute go by. It's still nothing. Columbia says her comment didn't show up, but I can see your comment right there. Yes, they're being blacklisted. And who's assisting with the blacklisting? Some of these content creators. Praying that Devin doesn't get an opportunity. writing love letters to these despicable beings, pushing for others to be a star when they are as wicked and awful as, shit on your brand new shoes. Huh? Yep. Yeah, Columbia, the promoters are playing a huge role in running interference. Because that 3%, 33%, whatever it is enough to be taxing fighters in a manner that the fighter has to continue to fight. I keep telling you, when Anthony Joshua broke and defeated Jake Paul and his jaw, all they could talk about was he was making, what, 80 million? But Anthony Joshua made that? How much did Hearn make off of Joshua? If you could tell me that, now we cooking. And you know what? These shameful content creators, they're not even gonna ask Hearn. Hey Hearn, how much did you make off that Netflix deal with Joshua? But they'll ask a BA a question like that every time they turn around. They got you trained to not say anything. It's unfortunate, but we don't think about these things till I mention them or someone else in the community mentions them. B-Mac, what's good with you? There's plenty to be said, you guys. I'm just a spark, a kickstart to it all. BF was cooking on it this afternoon in early evening. 78, just a little bit over an hour ago, was cooking on it. Most people are glazing. We're raising questions, raising the consciousness, raising the identity of what we're looking at, what's being evaluated. You know, I think about these things and I really look at it like people fall into certain categories. Complacency and people who have initiative, that little bit of spontaneity to get up and go, to press forward. Maybe it's time to start pushing the complacent ones to the side. Not include. Keep them on the outside. It's a thought. Did you notice as I slowed down my speak, the interruptions came less? I told you I was doing that by design. Whomever that person is that's out there doing that through YouTube, we have a public service announcement for you. Yep. I know you probably was waiting. Yeah, B Mac. That's what's up. That's what's up. But no, I just was waiting. I had a delay, but I have the that public service announcement for the people that mess with the audio and everything. Cause I'm pretty much at the end of the show now, right? I just want to remind them. Yeah. Public service announcement. Huh?
I will rain down on a godly fucking firestorm upon you. You're gonna have to call the fucking United Nations to get a fucking binding resolution to keep me from fucking destroying you.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Just know when they mess with the LDBC, they messing with all of us, right? Yeah. And just remember, people, they could come for us all they want to, but we band together.
Так дайте пацанам посчитать потери. Сумма нули погибает на сцене. Снова один прогуляюсь без тени. Заливай один поцелуй на шее.
You know what's interesting, family? Because I've halted my speech a little bit, right? They can't make the audio choppy if I'm not saying anything. Think about that. Because the music comes through great, right? Comes through. This is some stupid shit here, man. They playing with me. But it's okay, because we're at the end of the show anyway. But look at that. I was talking and they cut it. Trying to show. I guess I want to show who's in power, huh? Follow me on Rumble. That's all I could tell you. Follow me on Rumble. Killing my streams and stuff, man. This is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, don't worry about it, family. Salute to EJ in the Cash App. He's like, yeah, spitting the facts. Listen, man. Thank you for your donation. But I'm going to shut this down. I got a plan, but I won't be able to put that in effect till I do my next live stream. So, thank you guys. You saw what they did to 78 earlier today. They decided to start come kicking at me too now. So it is what it is. I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. And I'm out of here. You guys have a great rest of your week. And this too, we shall get beyond. Yep. We shall.